Hey everyone, so we're talking about classes, this class. So, like you all know, class, we talked about class in Java already, and so you have taking you through the syntax in Kotlin. So, classes in Kotlin are almost the same thing with Java. So, you have your class keyword followed by your class name. Let's say, for instance, we want to use car, then the body. So, the body can take two types. We have two properties. We have the property, and we have member functions, or we say methods. So methods are functions in a class, while properties are the variables we define inside a class. So those are all called properties. So for this class, let's define some variables. Var brand equals to this. Var color equals to this. So let's define the member function. Fun display print my the is of the brand the brand and color color. So this is like concatenation, or I put it inside the string itself. So we've talked about that in variables. So if you don't understand what's going on, you want to watch the variables video again to understand. So just like Java, to know Java, you have to use the new keyword if you want to instantiate a new class. But for Kotlin, you don't need to do that. So val my car is equals to car. So no need for the new keyword. No Java, you'll be like new this, but in Kotlin, you don't need to do that. So so you can change the properties as long as you declare them with a var instead of a val. So my car, to access those properties, you use dots, just like Java. Brand, let's say you want to change brand. Ferrari. Let's say I want to change color. My car dot color. So pass color red. So these are your access properties. In Java, you have to use getters and setters to access properties in a class. But in Kotlin takes care of everything for you. So you don't need to have getters and setters in your class to be able to access and change that class. As long as you define those property variables with a var and not a val, you'll be able to access them. So next, let's access the method there. My car dot display car. So we're calling this method now. So this should call this method. So when we run this, okay, it's running. So the car is of brown Ferrari and color red. So it works. So there's another way to define your classes. So in Java we have constructors. So let's say you want your brand and color to be passed via the constructor. So after doing class car, you have to add constructor, then you pass in the constructor values. So let's say we want brand for the type string. You need to put the type, very important. Color of type string too. So we can then go ahead and comment this out for now. So we commented this out. So this also will not work. So let's comment this out too. So we have to pass the brand and the constructor Ferrari by using positional arguments. Red. So when we run this, yeah, so I can see it works too. So let's say we not pass anything here via the constructor. I'll run it. It will flag an error. To work. No value pass for parameter brand, value pass for parameter color. So let's undo this. So this is how it works for constructors. So let's say you have a variable property that you don't want to be accessed outside your class. So you want that property to be accessed only inside your class. So we have to use what we call a private property. And the way we define in private property, we have to use the private keyword. So before your var, you put private var. Let's say once something that saves the car steps, integer equals to 0. So this private means I just want this to be used inside this class. So as I make come here and my car steps equals to, try changing it to like 8 and I run it, it will return an error, cannot access car step. It is private in car, meaning this is private. It cannot be accessed from this class itself. So let's delete this private. And you see, let's run this. You see, it runs because no longer private again. So undo this. Okay. So we can't access this. So this we have to delete this. So let's say, for instance, we have a function. Let's say I want to just do a quick project. Function move car. Where the car moves by 1 step. So car steps is equals to car steps plus equals to plus 1. So these are incrementing car steps by 1. Sorry about that. Okay. So next is let's print something. Print line the car is okay. Let's use something more dynamic. Your dollar bra currently dollar position So we can as well come here and build my car. Let's move car. When we run this, yeah, the credit content in one position. So you see that it increases my, let's do it again. The move car 1 2 position. So you just go over for loops again. You can also use the for loop. So it will be like 4. Let's want to move it like 10 or 30 positions, fine. 1 to 30. My car dot move car. So by the time we run this, let's say it moves from position 1 to position 30 and stops there. Yeah. So this is just basically classes, methods, and we have the constructors too. So there's a special type of class called the data class. So data class, they don't have like the body. So they are more or less defined like the way we define classes in Java, but use data class. Then let's say we have a data class of person. So they don't have a body, right? So we have to define the properties inside the constructor. So they don't need for any constructor keyword. So a person has a name. So val name string. Person also has an age val age int. So the same way we do um same way we do instantiate classes, same way with instantiate data class. So we can just val person 1 equals to person. Sorry. So we have to define the properties of that person. So as usual, we can use named, like name is equals to John, age is equals to 45 or 43. So we can print person 1 dot, we can set the properties directly, name. So let me comment out this. Let me comment out this. So when I run this, so it prints out John, and yeah, that's it. So data classes are, they don't have body, just name of the class with the properties itself passed via the constructors. So Java, Kotlin generates the other methods, the setters, getters, and everything for you. So you don't have to do that yourself. So there's another concept called inheritance. So this is where a class extends from another class to use all the properties of the other class. So let's say we have another class called, let's use this car class. Let's say class Ferrari car. So let's say we want it to just extend from this car method car class and use every method and properties that are private public are available for us. So we use the colon, then we'll do car, then pass, we have to pass the constructor values. So this should be a Ferrari. Red, let's pass red there. So this class, when we declare this class here, let me comment out this. So let's declare a new object, Ferrari. Ferrari car. So as you can see, we can as well call display car from this car method because we're extending from this. So we're inheriting from this, just like Java too, where you do implement and extend. So now let's do Ferrari dot display car. Let's run this. Let's try now. You need to define Ferrari car. So there's a problem somewhere here. So let's try to look for the issue. So it says unresolved reference. None of the following candidates is applicable because of the receiver mismatch. Units defined in Ferrari car. This type is final, so it cannot be inherited from. Okay. So to ensure that we are able to inherit from this, we have to make it public. So okay. Let's over this and see where the issue is coming from. Okay. So to be able to inherit from a class in Java, we have to use the open keyword. Because normally, sorry, in Kotlin, you have to use the open keyword. Classes in Kotlin are declared as final, and we can't inherit from a final class. So to be able to inherit from a class in Kotlin, you have to use the open keyword. So when you run this, you see it works now. So we omitted the open keyword earlier, that's why it was having those errors. Okay. So as well, the Ferrari car can have, let's say, want to have different models of Ferrari cars. So let's define some properties, or let's define the constructor itself. Constructor model model val top speed. Mm, let's int. So we have function function show my Ferrari. So we can do from print line. We can call display car from the car class that we inherited from. We can add our own. Let's see, it does a model dollar model and speed dollar speed. So we can call Ferrari dot display car. We can also call Ferrari dot show my Ferrari. So we'll run this. Body pass for model and top speed. So remember we added two new constructors. So since we added two constructors, we have to pass values for them. So let's do mx567 top speed 250. So we're having an error. So let's look at the error. Okay. So this display car is not returning a string. So it's just printing this out to the console. So it can't work like this. So I have to do this instead. So you have to delete this. Sorry. So print this, just call display car. Yeah. So display the car first. Okay, it should be top speed. Sorry. So let's run this now. Okay, so as you can see, let's remove this. Let's delete this. So as you can see, it prints display car first before moving to the next one. So it inherited this method from this car. Yeah. Then print this. So these are inheritance works in Kotlin. So it's see the same concept with Java.